Welcome to the Lake Forest Podcast, a podcast about the lovely city of Lake Forest, featuring topics like local news, sports, music, people, and food. My name is Pete. I'm joined with the voice of Lake Forest Scouts football and basketball, Skoo Walker. How you doing, Skoo?
Good, Pete. How are you this morning? I'm freezing.
Like minus 17 feels like freezing?
I tell you, it was a rough walk this morning.
Oh, my eyebrows stuck to my hat.
I never walked so fast in my life. And the poor dog, I think we made like 5 or 6 stops. Thank God I have my walks planned out where they're strategic enough you can stop in a building or something and warm up.
Yeah, you warm up in Starbucks and leave your dog outside.
I do, yes. But then we have different stops where we go and he gets warmed up and all that. And so it was rough this morning, though. Eyelids were freezing.
No, it was windier yesterday, but
2 days ago it was really windy.
Yeah. It was rough.
Yeah, that just ripped through my body.
You know where it's really nice though, Skoo?
Tell me, Pete.
Florida. Shark Guy Beach Fishing is the premier South Florida beach fishing experience out of Longboat Key, Florida. Their world-renowned captains not only put you on the fish, but they'll help you and your family make a memory of a lifetime. Check them out on Facebook or at sharkguybeachfishing.com to schedule an outing. Shark Guy is your guy for your next charter. We'd also like to say, hey, thanks to our Patreon supporters, Reverend Luke Back from the Church of the Holy Spirit, Matt A., Elizabeth B., Costa Lance, and of course, Domo Origato Atto.
Hey, is it Patreon or is it a patron?
Patreon, my friend. Patreon.
Okay.
Like P-A-Y. Pay up, you cheapskates who don't listen. I can't believe there's so many.
Donation.
I can't believe, not a donation. We're creating well above average content here in Lake Forest. And for the sum of $1, somebody could be pitching in.
And our content is quite good.
Oh, it's quite above average, I would say. So Skoo, I mean cold, frigid cold. Like, you know what's bad is when you're walking and then that train crossing comes down.
Oh.
And you're standing right there and you got nowheres to go. And I'm just hoping my dog's butt doesn't freeze to the sidewalk.
Or even worse, when you're completing your walk and you get to the train crossing and 30, 40 feet away is a resting stop called Dakota Insurance Group to warm up, and that train's just sitting there. And all you're thinking, I've just been walking for an hour and I'm looking to warm up, and boom, the train. And not only does the train come by, but if it's nonstop, it's blowing dust up or snow up, I should say.
I mean, I can deal with the nonstop, but I mean, when you got stragglers getting on that train, it feels like it's a half hour while you're waiting, and it's only like 2 minutes. But
no, you're right. That is the definition of cold. It's just like an eternity before that thing fires up again.
And of course, for you, it's much rougher because you're on the other side of the tracks. I can only imagine what the West Siders.
It's tough. And we cross those tracks to come over to the east side. And that's just, the envy is, when you grow up on the east side and then you're forced over to the west side, that's, I'd sit in my daughter's bedroom because it faces the east side and just.
Yeah.
Just wish I was back over there.
You ever see those pictures of East and West Germany where they're, hanging out the windows to get to the other side? That's not that bad.
On the west side? On the east? Oh, no.
Reverse. Yeah.
I know that I was making a joke. I'm not that funny, but yeah.
That was pretty good. So COVID watch, man. A lot of people.
Is that incredible? I mean, knock on wood, I haven't been struck down yet, but boy, it's just everywhere you turn, everyone's getting the vid.
And you know what?
Or the Om-ni-cron or whatever it is.
Om-ni-cron.
Om-ni-cron.
I wonder what the next letter is. It's
Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. I can't remember my Greek alphabet. Used to be quizzed on it every Sunday night in the basement of the Alpha Tau Omega house at Indiana University, but I can't remember it right now.
We need Mary Groib on. I think she's in Florida now, too.
Who's that? Mary Groib.
Groib. Mary Groib. Gerhardt's.
Oh, that's what I thought. I was going to say, yeah, Gerhardt's is closed.
Yeah, they're closed.
They took a week off and
took a week
south.
off south. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, man.
I tell you what, good for them. They bust their hump. And I tell you what, every morning at 5 when I'm walking down that alley and Cooper's on a dead sprint to see if there's a treat out, they're grinded, man. They got the stuff going, and I love the smell. Just awesome smell down there.
You look through that little doorway in the back room, and they are just that oven.
They're phenomenal.
I think that oven's been there since like the early 1900s. I'll have to check the show.
We used to go there when I was a kid, and walking to school, I'd stop either whoever would get donuts or whatever, but I would always get one of those. It's not an eclair. It's a like a big thick layer of custard and chocolate and what was it called? Not
a bear claw because there's custard in it.
No, it was.
Now, were you in the front? Were you in the front door or the back door?
Front. Napoleon.
Dynamite.
Those were good. And we, after school, grab a couple cookies and all. But yeah, that was. Well, as long as it was Lake Forest Bakery then, but man, Gerhard just kept it up and kept it going, and the chefs are just awesome.
You didn't go through the back door. You didn't get to Dale's or anything like that.
No.
All right.
A couple times we did the more food, sir. Any bagels?
Did you ever play that role? I mean, you were really good, man.
Hell no, I didn't play anything. My Pam side is very well theater endowed, I should say, but no, not this guy.
Theater endowed. I have to check with the Gorton Center to see if that's proper.
Speaking of Gorton Center, that whole Gorton Theater thing is Pam's parents.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Sunday they got the Nutcracker there. January 9th. I thought Nutcracker was like a holiday Christmas thing.
Speaking of that.
Yeah.
Did you see that thing on YouTube? Or was it YouTube or something where there's no, it's on TV. On like AMC or something. And it's just like this live show or something contest where just people just do bizarre things, cracking nuts on guys. It's just like I saw a preview. Oh, come on! I gotta remember. I'll look it up. But it was just like,
is it any worse than closing time at a bar?
Okay. I'm telling you. I mean, they got like balls kind of like right in the crotch, and these guys are like, ah! And I'm like, and they're judged. They got judges judging what's the most bizarre one. I'm like, holy crap!
They flinched.
Well, yeah, it's just hilarious. But sorry, I devolved.
You digress.
I digress. Devolved. I've already been devolved.
All right. So the insurrection was. Sorry to bring politics in wherever side you're on, because I know you're not listening, whoever you are. But the Kulas brothers pled a deal for hosting a.
Who the hell are the Kulas brothers?
Well, I don't know, but I think they're part of that maids thing. You have the Kulas maids. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Kulas. Yeah, I gotcha. Now
I don't know. I don't know if they're
driving around all the time. I didn't click with when you said that.
I think probably the reason why they didn't get a bigger sentence was they probably left it a lot better than when they got there. They probably came with their cleaning buckets in there.
We were just here to clean. We were hired to. What the hell? They must have charged a lot more though.
It's got to be their kids. They're like 27, 24 or whatever, but you know.
Did they take the cars?
They staged a rally.
If they were hiding, I mean, you know, you can't really hide with they're taking their work cars there.
Well, yeah, they had the Kulas hats. But seriously, you know how they got identified? One of them said something like storm the Capitol. You know, that could be
probably not a good thing.
You know, I think that's a Lake Forester trying to be a city kid, and it didn't work out so well. I don't know. You got any thoughts on that insurrection? What is an insurrection, anyways? Do you know?
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick.
Okay, here we go. No. I'm looking it up actually.
Okay. What is my take on it?
Yeah,
it was horrible. You know, I don't know who, what, when, how, but just seeing it was pretty bad. I've never seen it.
But didn't somebody like get shot or something? Oh, here we go.
Some girl.
A guard.
Yeah.
I think a guard. A violent uprising against an authority or government. Okay. That's an insurrection. Is that what happened? I guess they went in there because all the guards said, "Hey man, it's good." I don't know how the person got shot, what happened, but it was a year ago, and here we are. And
anything like that's bad.
But you got a couple cleaning guys getting busted for it.
Not a couple. There's a lot of people got busted for it, probably rightfully so. They did damage and all that. I mean,
what damage did they do? Do you know?
Didn't you see the news and all that?
I saw them going up the steps and sitting on Pelosi's chair. So they busted stuff. Yeah, that's not good. You can't do that.
Trespassing too. I mean, they weren't.
Okay, trespassing. I get. I think that's what they got for it. But they're pointing out the maid people. I thought that was kind of.
Who was doing that?
It was in the Tribune. They cut a deal, I think, back in December on it.
I don't read the Tribune anymore. I used to get it.
Oh no, it's
102 pages of advertising and 1 page of news.
It's like that Forest Bluff magazine or whatever that is that clogs my mailbox.
Yeah, that doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, it does, man. It costs the mailman's back to haul that crap around.
That's true.
You got one article. You get one article in that thing, of which
my day when I get it.
Oh.
Okay, I saw this realtor before. I've seen this one. I've seen this one.
That realtor. And then
God bless our realtors. You know, they need a forum to advertise.
While they last, you know.
I tried advertising once in that. Ooh, yikes.
Yeah. How'd that go? It's up there?
It's up there.
Well, you know, they do have a pretty, fine stock. I don't know which has more pages. The
Trib actually did a nice article on me, but still, it was.
Oh, you got an article in there?
Yeah, a long time ago. I didn't pay for it, which was nice, but then I tried to, I'll try to advertise in there. I was like,
nah, those things are. I give it 5 years, and I
said that 10 years ago or whatever when it was doing it when they started. They've been rolling pretty well.
How can you roll with nothing but realtors? Realtors aren't doing great, are they?
Well, it's pretty simple, Pete.
Because realtors don't listen to the show, so I don't know.
We can start or do a magazine like that. It's the advertisers. They're rocking as long as they're paying.
Magazines were very cool in the 90s. You know what else was cool in the 90s? My hair.
Mine was too. I had longer hair back then.
Yeah. I probably have longer hair now. I don't know when you're employed, but I just hate that mailbox clogger, you know.
That's
But
like the only thing in the mailbox anymore is just clogged. But hey,
everybody's got to make a living, right?
that's right. That's right. God bless them. If I could figure that out, I'd do it.
Let's see. The athletic field improvements workshop got moved to February 17th. I wonder why that happened. I wonder if the alderwomen couldn't show up.
I think it was moved because of the vid. And I guess everything's seems like there's a target date of mid-January to end of January where it's supposed to be diminished and gone. So
I think the alderwomen were in I think they were in Florida, couldn't make it. We know you're not listening too.
All right. They got to get good photos in there too for them.
Nice photo op. So the workshop number 2 for the turf. Can you just go for me? Because those chairs are so.
I'm going. I don't know why they really need it, but check the box. This is what we did, and just go back to the rec board, vote on it, and move it along.
They got to have a bigger chair if they want me to participate. I need a bigger chair. I couldn't. Speaking
of realtors, you're a tough house to find for, because you got to have over large doorways and.
Just need a basement where I can hide out.
That's sorry, all. That 10-foot basement's not high enough. Can you do 12?
There is no inventory, man. There is a lot of.
What did I hear?
Prices are going up.
Construction's going up.
Construction's going up. So
it's going to be interesting once it starts thawing. What's going to happen?
So if we're getting into the spring, Skoo, what do we got to look forward to? Like, we got Valentine's Day coming up, so we got a little PSA for the guys out there. Ladies, don't listen. Mariano's, bring your vase, drop it off 2 days before. They'll fill it up, wrap it up. Now it's just us guys talking, and it's half the cost, even though everything is so expensive. Mariano's in Bannockburn. Ask for Maria. Okay. And a PSA, Skoo.
Ask for Pete.
No. They say, well,
Valentine's Day. God, we're already like almost a month away.
I'm telling you, man, the way inflation's kicking in, even Walmart's expensive.
Oh,
I mean,
I had, I always thought I'd never have to. Way back in the day, there was a bar called the Wood Nickel. It used to be Toadstools, and they used to give out wood nickels. You get a wood nickel, you get a free beer and all that.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of them. I should probably start trying to cash them in.
Put them on eBay. Plus your Skoo bucks.
Where are they? Thought I had them here.
I have a bunch in my washroom.
I think my daughter took some actually to Target.
It cost me $5 to go to the bathroom.
Those Skoo bucks come in handy. Actually, it's kind of funny. I felt bad. I was at Chiefs a couple of weeks ago, and I threw a couple on the table. I got a couple beers. I don't.
Come on, you got shortchanged, man. Which reminds me, should we do another listener party, Skoo?
Sure, we should. I'd like to do it at the Lantern, but they've been closed for the last few days. Opened up later in the day.
We might as well have it in Dakota Insurance. Have the pony keg down there.
Right. Just go in the back room and grab one. I don't know if they don't. Oh, sorry about that. I won't do
that. No. I'm sure the lines are clean too. But it's rough. It's rough out there. You know who it's not rough for is Sweets, man. Came through. Deer Path was putting up a fight. They wanted to check the methodology, and I said, "Hey guys,
Hey, I tell you,
the voters speak."
again, it's kind of borderline dessert, but I tell you what, a lot of people go after dinner and they got some great stuff.
Dessert is spelled with two S's.
I did know that.
I found that out after my first email that I put out.
People give you some correction.
Well, I don't have any fact checkers before the show, but I sure do after the show.
Really? You need to start sharing some of those. Maybe let's start sharing some of those comments. You don't have to say the name, but it's funny.
Okay, here. Hey, Pete, you suck. Hey, I don't listen to your show and you suck.
You're peddling a bunch of lies.
You.
Well, at least you got a smile on your face. All the people that are the haters on you. That's,
Oh, come on. If this is what people are going to hate you for, it's a beautiful thing. So
sometimes we're not 100% right on stuff, I guess.
What you guess? When were we ever 100% right?
Well, I'm just saying we're not. That's why I'm admitting that.
Skoo, we're the Wayne's World of Lake Forest, man.
Well, I guess that's the sign of a good party time.
Skoo's World.
I guess that's a sign of a good podcast or a good, whatever is people complaining. But
well,
we never admitted like we're, I mean, I'm trying to see where my notes are.
Well, we did go to Columbia Broadcasting School. If we can help people with a nice little diversion on their, Saturday morning, like Madeline out there. Madeline, you missed a spot on the corner table. Little pledge right there. You could help you out is Kulas. Oh wait, they're in DC.
So what do you think? Did they get? You think their business got hammered if they were brought up in the rioting there?
Well, first of all, I cannot confirm or deny it looked like it. I looked it up, on LinkedIn. It looked like, they own a Kulas made place. So,
right.
And what I know about, the thing they got to be worried about is, whoever they got working for them, they better be, above board. Just saying.
So maybe who was there? Who was there from Kulas?
A couple of guys. You can look it up, guys. It's in one of the.
I got more important things to do. I really don't.
It's in one of the 8 pages of the Chicago Tribune.
I'll tell you one thing though, Pete. I'll give you some interesting and maybe Art Miller. I haven't been on his show. Are you still doing the
Art? Yeah, Art's getting some warm weather.
Good for him.
I think he's in Florida too with the alderwomen.
So I was preparing for a interview to serve on the HPC and just doing some, because I'm, I was doing some investigative work. And I come to find, looking at all the historic homes and districts in the community. They have a whole list of them online. And I'm paging through it, looking at it. I'm like, okay, I know where that is. And I'm like, all of a sudden, bam, right in my face.
What?
1203 Griffith Road.
1203 Griffith.
National Historic Homes Register. And I'm scrolling through it. I'm like, come on, let me go back. Let's hang on a second. I'm like looking, going, are you kidding me? It's where I grew up.
Your house. That's why it's on there, man. You should have a little plaque.
Historic home. You know why it's historic? I think it was 1987 when it was designated or something like that. I guess it's the only remaining Sears Roebuck kit house. I should say only one. I know there's other ones around.
Yeah,
I guess in the district.
Yeah.
And how's that for a little trivia?
Interesting. I wonder if it has like the little Skoo Walker growth chart, where you.
Oh, it doesn't have that. I could tell you some things that are in their house you don't want to know about, but I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm like, holy crap. The house I grew up on is on the National Register of Historic Homes
Now,
in Lake Forest.
what does it take to get it? Is it like being on the dean's list? You pay the money to get in the book and
No, it's not that, because I mean, there's probably some formula and all that, but
there's a handout somewhere.
Nobody was paying anybody to get that house on the register. I'm surprised it's still standing.
Can we have our own register? The Lake Forest podcast. This home is definitely not on the historic walk. You know how they all those walks where you go check out somebody else's house? We should have something like the opposite, right? Yeah.
I don't know what that would be. Lake Bluff does a nice historic home on walk on Halloween.
No,
cool.
It would be just we would have a lawn sign up because I like lawn signs, and it would be this house was voted last in Lake Forest to live in. So, second to last, third to last, something like that. Courtesy of the Lake Forest. I think we sell a lot of those signs. Anyways.
It's a good idea. Come to think of it.
Well, put it to the list. Maybe we'll have it at the board meeting at the next Lake Forest podcast listener meeting. Where should we do it again? I like Chiefs. Chiefs is
it's great. It's it's turning into. I mean, my wife's a converter.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right pronoun to use, but no, she loves it. I mean, she was going the other day, and I don't know if the Lantern was closed or not, but she and her couple friends went down to Chiefs, and she had a great time. And she's like, comes back, she just really like it. It's comfortable atmosphere and all that. I'm like, yeah, I agree. Way to go, Joe.
Way to go, Joe. Even though he's sweating in the kitchen, man.
I don't know. I mean, it's scary, kind of like with the Lantern. Love the Lantern and all that, but having to shut down and all that can't be good for for the workers too. If they're not coming into work, they can go down the street.
You lose a couple good workers in the service industry, man. It's hard to come back from that.
I tell you, one is Costa, man. That guy busted his butt in that bar.
And we have a Costa supporter, Costa Ticanis, Kala Aristo. I think that's it. Make the left. I used to work for a Greek back in the day.
Oh yeah, and it's scary kind of right now. Not only in all the restaurant in the industry, but locally. I mean,
well, I think
especially when it's sub-zero, no one wants to go out, and that makes it even worse.
Well, you got those stories. Then you got people like Jeff Urso who's cleaning up, man. That Pucks is happening.
He's a smart guy. He kind of sees the opportunity, how we can kind of transform, and that's what entrepreneurs do.
He is the let us entertain you guy of the Lake Forest area. I'll tell you that.
We need more of this stuff here in locally here, so we don't have to drive all the way out.
No, we don't. Nobody
all
wants
the way
stuff
out there.
That's what Highwood is for.
I believe
Skoo. We want a more vibrant downtown, Skoo.
Please define vibrant.
It's called Highwood.
Closes at 4.
Highwood. Oh, really? It's called Block the Box.
Speaking of yard signs and all, we just need to. I mean, New Year. all the yard signs got to go. Right?
I mean,
There's got to be a city ordinance about. I know there's something there about yard signs and how long you think. Because at least during election time, I know they got to come down a certain time. But all these yard signs. I mean, I saw one that says "My cat's yellow." What?
You know
Why
what?
do you need a yard sign for that?
How about you and I make our lawn signs? I'm dead serious. Skoo.
We should just, while we're walking, just take all the yard signs down.
Because I believe the ordinance says you can only have one lawn sign and it needs to be X amount of feet from the curb. Because see, I used to be on the caucus, so I used to be a lawn sign expert.
There you go.
If they
can't
have
be on the parkway.
Can't be on public. Can't be on the public, even though you try to get sneaky first thing in the morning to put them out there. But I'll tell you that Lake Forest City, they're pretty good about picking those things up. I just wish they wouldn't recycle them because they'd always come back. But if they have our lawn sign on their lawn, then they can't put another lawn sign on. Skoo.
I don't know. Yeah, I just, it's I get it. Everyone wants to, voice their opinion on stuff and all that. But God, these yard signs. I was down in, I crossed over the border.
Which way? East Lake Forest, West
South.
Okay.
No, I mean further. I mean, it's tough for me to cross Lake Cook.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a safe zone.
That's a stretch,
so to speak. I mean, well, we go back to the Berlin Wall. For me,
DMZ.
in my head, that's the mental Berlin Wall is like crossing over Lake Cook Road. But I was down in Winnetka area. I'm telling you, dude, yard signs all over the place. I mean, it's like everyone's got a yard sign, speaking out their opinions on stuff. I'm like, this is crazy. I'd hate to live, in a neighborhood that's just like yard signs. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
We will be the anti-lawn sign. We're going to have a lawn. It's sort of like in Seinfeld, where you had a coffee table book about coffee tables.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
The legs fold up.
Jerry and genius.
I think we're going to have to look at that.
Well, I tell you what, the whole thing, yard signs, right? I mean, those forever people use yard signs. But with social media now,
yeah.
What's the yard sign? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's sort of like that mailbox clogger with the realtors in it. What is that really selling houses?
No.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
That's way back in the day when I first started my career in sales.
Yeah.
I used to work for a company that used to just, you got to do this. And you always had managers managing you that have never sold a thing in their life and telling you what.
Sounds like sales.
Stuff. And I fell for this one where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put my face on all the carts at Jewel. That's going to kill. I'm going to kill it.
You just made all the babies cry.
Paid all this money to put my mug on the, Jewel carts. And I was doing my metrics around it. And it's like, how many quotes did I get? How many visits? How many, all this, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It was like, I got my hand crimped up for writing too many zeros. Nothing. But I did get, hey, Skoo, I saw your face on my card at Jewel. And I'm like, okay, so that marketing strategy is not too good. But it is. It's like it doesn't turn over anything.
And
what does the yard sign do?
You know what it's going to do? I think we are going to have our own lawn sign. I think it's going to be, we're going to reach out to Joe. We'll reach out to Jeff, and we're just going to have our little lawn sign out there. And if they have ours up there, you can't have another one up there.
I think we should do it, not just put one letter on each yard sign and spell out the Lake Forest podcast all the way down the street.
Like, what is it, Burma Shave?
Yeah. Just like start it at one end of the street with a T. Next house is H. Next one is E. Just, I know, but we got to ask the people to do it. So,
oh, we're so popular because nobody listens. They'll be reaching out. Hey, can we get one of those lawn signs? So Skoo, another thing that I had on my list that, for 2022, I don't want to call it a resolution, but it's one of the things I like to do is help out all the local charities here. And let's go down the list here, just off the top of our heads. We got Mother's Trust, right?
Mother's Trust did awesome stuff. They got a prom dress thing coming up soon.
Okay,
we'll get more info on that.
Well, they got to reach out to come on the show. We can't beg them, Please.
No, we won't have to beg them.
Okay. But
why would you come on with us?
How? Because nobody listens. But how many local charities like that are in town here?
Oh,
dozen? More than a dozen?
I'm still trying to get Lead to come on. They've done some spectacular things for mental health of kids and all around the country, but I think I was on the Lead board for years, but I think they're a little skittish. They're afraid like we're going to zing them.
Oh, okay. Well, they get zinged either way, but I think we should have our own little carnival for these charities, right?
I like that idea. Maybe
an updated
outside of it,
like an updated Lake Forest Day that's not on the weekday, but on the weekend where people can show up, right?
Well, even better. Wait, maybe it's I've always said. Well, I shouldn't say that because that means I've always thought that Lake Forest should take advantage of Market Square and have, close off.
Yeah.
Western at Deer Path and Western at Westminster on a Saturday morning, 9 to 12, and utilize the entire square for a farmer's market. That would be, but I think we do something like that with the nonprofits.
That's what I'm saying. We'll put some bands out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a band,
Maybe declare a day, National Nonprofit Day, and I can't say national, but local nonprofit day. Get them, the nonprofits get a little tent each one and share their wares and put the cups out there so they can, that's a great idea.
But why not even have like the carnival rides in that park? What is that, West Park?
West Park, yeah.
Right? Because there's
going there and starting to desecrate Lake Forest Day. Diminish it, I should say.
I'm not saying it. Well,
that's an option too, doing it in conjunction with Lake Forest Day, right?
You would think.
Or something.
Because it's...
I agree with you. I think there's so many that we haven't uncovered. There's so many nonprofits in Lake Forest, and
well, here let me put it to you this way,
or even not in Lake Forest, but people living in Lake Forest that are part of nonprofits. That
right?
It's a good idea, great idea, Pete.
Well, here's my thoughts on Lake Forest Day. Lake Forest Day has its ties to the Legion. Okay, nobody's going to ever question if I don't love vets. Okay, the vets don't love the Legion. Because there's no vets, the younger vets, they're not being part of the American Legion. So that thing is, for lack of a better term, it's a pile of money that's just growing, and there's only so many scholarships you can give out. Why not have something where charities actually can use the money? Because the Legion doesn't need the money anymore.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
why take their money and you can do something else there.
No, it's their money in the 1920s, but it's 2020, and look, the Legion was part of helping Lake Forest get going. Now it's kind of eventually it's not going to be around anymore.
Hopefully they are, but again, I mean, it's just like any nonprofit. I mean, if people are willing to donate money and that money is then transformed into something good, you know,
well,
even though the Legion is, as they say, I'm not going to put words in their mouth, that the membership is dwindling because the younger vets aren't wanting to do it. Well, you know, I don't think it's going to go away. I hope it doesn't go away, and hopefully some of the younger guys start, you know, thinking out of the box and how to transform the Legion into, you know, more 21st century.
just my personal experience, Skoo, and maybe yours, I don't know, but it's, you know, the officers of the Legion told me that they don't need to do any other type of work to bring in revenue because they make all their money from Lake Forest Day. There's no incentive for them to go outside the box and create other revenue streams. So if that's the case, if they don't need the money, okay, then Mother's Trust, Beef for, you know, those guys would welcome that money or at least participate in it.
What do you mean? The Legion's money?
Well, it's Lake Forest's money, number one, okay, because there's no agreement between the Legion and the city of Lake Forest to do that Lake Forest Day. There's nothing there. I looked. So if there's nothing there, then why can't these other charities partake in it and have another day where the revenue goes to them because they need the money? Just my take.
Yeah, I don't know why the Legion ties into that, and the Legion does their own thing, but you know, yeah, I agree that, you know, something should be done, you know, in conjunction with the city for other nonprofits. It'd be a great idea to have a fair or something like that.
Well, exactly. There's no agreement between the Legion and Lake Forest, and there's no agreement between Mother's Trust and Lake Forest. Why can't Mother's Trust have their own carnival? That's all. They could use the money.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, when you're splitting hairs saying there's no agreement, I mean, there's agreements that,
no, there's none. Nothing written. Nothing
that's
written.
What I'm talking about. Splitting hairs, but
it's a big hair.
No, not really. I mean, that's been done for 80 plus years. The Lake Forest Day is run by the Legion, and the Legion, you know, that's their revenue stream. But let's just say it's about 300 grand that comes in. I think Mother's Trust could benefit more from that money than American Legion. That's all. But I guess what I'm saying is how. I mean, what you're saying, American Legion has to give them that money?
I didn't say they have to give them anything. If American Legion has the right to hold an event with no agreement with the city of Lake Forest, why can't Mother's Trust have the same agreement?
I'm sure they could.
Yeah, that's all.
But I don't know why you're bringing up the American Legion, that they should be. I thought you were saying they need to. Mother's Trust could use that money.
There's an event where the people of Lake Forest, Lake Bluff, they're going to an event during the week, putting their money in, and it's generating 300 grand for an entity that says
but there's expenses tied to that too. They're not just netting 300 grand.
I think it's pretty close to it.
No,
but whatever.
Who cares?
Well, fact check.
Who cares? Yeah,
I'm saying, okay, 1920, Lake Forest really needed American Legion. 2020, not so much. That's all that I'm saying. God bless all the work they did in the past. Now we just have a pile of money that's getting larger and larger and larger.
Well, I don't think it's getting larger and larger. I think they're distributing out. I think they distribute it out where it should go. And again, who cares? I mean, I'm not.
I guess what I care is what I care about is when people are incented don't have any incentive to make things better because they're relying on this agreement that isn't an agreement. I have a problem with it. They have no incentive to grow or take in other funds. I saw it myself when I have an officer tell me, hey, we don't need to do any other things because we have this event. I'm like, that tells me they don't need the money. I think Mother's Trust needs the money. That's all. And we'll have Mother's.
Again,
yeah.
Yeah, but every nonprofit can do their own deal, which they do. I mean, I don't think should be crossing and going after American Legion because they do stuff and should be, sharing that. I mean, if Mother's Trust wants to run, and I don't want to use Mother's Trust, but any nonprofit wants to, run their own carnival and run their own parade and, all that other, give out, scholarships and, sponsor teams and all that. They can, but they got to raise the money and do all that. And that's what the Legion does. So I don't really care if they get a pot of money sitting there and they use it. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I think they do good work, and they do the the Lake Forest Day. They run that thing. They run it on a shoestring, and it is successful every year.
They run on a shoestring.
Well, yeah, I mean, they do a great job, and they do a great job. And you know what? I'm not.
All I'm saying is, hey, why can't the other charities have the same deal? That's all. Who need the money?
They can.
Okay.
They can. I mean, do they want to? Pete, that's the big thing is, this is how it is. And I know you don't like this is how it is, but unless there's a contract written and all that. But again, it's how the history's been to this point. And, why rock it? Why change it? I mean, if another nonprofit wants to come in and help out or do their own thing, they can. But again, you got to get back to, doing this stuff. If you're going to do it, you got to do it, and you need people to do it. And, I don't know. I think I don't think they're sitting on this pot of gold that you think they are. And I think they distribute it out well. I think maybe they can find different avenues, but I'm kind of shocked that someone would tell you that, it is what it is. Go pound salt. This is how we do it. I'm just saying. I mean, and I don't think any nonprofit in town is hurting either. They do great jobs what they do, and they generate a lot of donations and cash and distribute it out. I think these nonprofits, and I think you had a great idea that we should have a nonprofit day for these guys. And that was my whole point. And I guess we're debating who needs the money more. And all I'm saying is the optics are, here's a few scholarships here and there, but yet here's the fund growing larger and larger at the American Legion headquarters. That's all. Yeah, but okay.
Well,
we detoured out to the American Legion and what they're doing with their money, but who cares what they're doing with their money? I mean,
Lake Forest cares.
Well, what do you mean Lake Forest cares? And they do a lot of good stuff with it.
Like what good stuff? The scholarships?
Yeah.
If you're giving out $100,000 and you're making 300, that's a good deal.
I'm not sure where the 300 comes from, but unless you did
that's what their numbers are. That's what the tax form said. Fact checkers can come on.
No, I'm
I
not
hear
fighting
you
on any of that stuff. I think hopefully the American Legion can stay. Hopefully they do great things in the community. They always have, whether it's 1920 or 2020. We have celebrations and stuff because of them. Lake Forest Day 1. Whether people like Lake Forest Day or not, that's too bad if they don't. But if not for the American Legion, that never would get done. And you know what? If they have a ton of money, thank God they do that. And they give scholarships out. They support teams. All the nonprofits can do the same thing, and you don't have to have a written agreement. I mean,
if you don't have how do you? how do you hold things accountable if you don't have written agreement? That's all. Mother's Trust, we want to throw a carnival on a weekend for you guys.
So you're what you're getting at is you don't like the American Legion, and I that's what I'm trying to get at. Why?
I don't. When I see people, look, everybody's working hard, or they think they're working hard. Okay. Certain people need the money. Certain people don't need the money. Mother's Trust needs the money more than the American Legion needs the money. That's all I'm saying.
What money? What money?
The funds that are generated from Lake Forest Day, the funds that are generated from scratch offs and all that stuff. There's no new veterans going to the American Legion, right? The membership is dwindling. It's
so you're
going
saying the American Legion, they should do all this work and collect all this money and then give it to other nonprofits. I'm sure they can.
Well, I think, how about this? Instead of them deciding where the scholarships go, maybe if it's the money's generated from this non-agreement in Lake Forest, maybe we have, instead of a scholarship to whatever they deem is wherever it should go, how about Mother's Trust gets a cut?
Of what? A cut of what?
The money that's generated on the days that's deemed Lake Forest Day, or add days to that day to have additional days for the carnival. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's how the conversation started. That's how it's ending. And then you turned it in that I don't like the Legion. I just don't like people.
No, I didn't say you don't like
who
the
don't
Legion.
like to work. Who don't like to work for the money. That's all.
That's not what I'm saying. I didn't say you don't like the Legion. You said you like, all the vets and all that, and that the Legion has a pot of money they're not using and should distribute. I think they use their money. They do good things. I don't know why they need to be questioned on that, but that's your prerogative.
Well, isn't that, what are we, journalists?
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're
what
two
are
idiots having a conversation. But
oh, that nobody's listening
and,
to.
And the thing is, we keep saying Mother's Trust, and again, Mother's Trust, we're not using, we're just your name, and they do great work too.
Well, they came on the show, and that's why I'm using them. So I know them personally.
And they need money, and they get donations, and they do, I don't know. I guess my opinion is, all these nonprofits, they're in their silos, they do their great work, and they all can use money. And again, I don't know. I'm not in the same camp you are with American Legion. I think they do great. Now, are some of these guys, and we've dealt with them personally, kind of interesting how they turned the thing around when we were trying to do some stuff. But again, that's their prerogative, and sure, it sucked, but you know what?
No, well, their prerogative, the prerogative is, all you got to do is just don't say, hey, we don't need your money because we make it from over here. That's all. It's just, you don't need to say that.
What money were they saying? We don't need your money.
They're not in the business of renting out their hall. They don't need that income because they make all their money from one event a year. That's all.
That's their big fundraiser. Just like and I think we've taken it a little bit further than the real. I mean, yes, they shut us down when we were trying to do our thing there. For some reason, they said we can do it, and then the other guys turned it down. So, but every nonprofit has their main event that is their big money generator. Mother's Trust does, Lead does, American Legion does, and how they use that money. I mean, maybe it was wrong for the guy to say we don't need your money, we don't need your $150. I think they still do rent out. I think they do. I don't think they, as a whole, don't need public's money.
All I can do is what was directly told to me, Skoo. That's all.
I know. No, I'm with you. But then to go down and say they, I don't know.
Well, no. Well, here, it is a fact that the membership's dwindling, and eventually you're just going to have this money and a couple bureaucrats that are going to determine who gets a scholarship here and there. That's it. And what I'm saying is, instead of having a bunch of bureaucrats, have some people that are actually could use that money. I guess what we're battling is, could Mother's Fund have a bigger impact with the money that they get than the American Legion? That's all.
I think every nonprofit can, but I guess we jump to the conclusion that, you know, the Legion's going away and they're going to have this pot of money, and, you know, how to distribute it out. And I don't think that can be determined until, you know, if in fact the Legion does go away. I don't know if it will. I don't, you know. Well, but at that point in time, you know, what happens to the money? That's a good question. But until then, I don't think it's, you know, it's a old, you know, the old adage too is, what if the city wants to run Lake Forest Day?
Why don't they?
They don't want to. That's their prerogative. They have the Legion doing it. I mean, you know, I don't know.
Well,
some things just work as is and work effectively, and some people have different opinions on how things work. I personally think the Legion does a great job, and the money they raise, it's distributed out to great causes. And, you know, do they donate money to other charities? I don't know, but I do know what they do and what they've done in the past is very beneficial to the community, and the community's benefited from it. So I don't, you know, I just don't see where.
Well, if we can get all the charities together, I mean, there's a scale thing. They can't afford to take on the risk of a carnival, right? You have to be able to guarantee the guy from Chicago to come out here, Mid-America, whatever that guy's name is, to come out here and do this. But if you combine everybody together, in addition to the Legion, you could have something pretty good. You could have something good that could be greater. It could evolve into something else. That's all. All I know is it's sort of like the Chicago Tribune, how the pages have dwindled.
Right.
That's kind of what we got going on here. And I was part of the Tribune for a period of time, and I've seen the attitudes that attributed to a very thin paper,
right,
and a weak online presence. And it's a similar thing that I'm witnessing with the Legion. That's all.
That's
Skoo.
Fair. I mean, that's we're ending on that.
Well, you know, you got to rile up the feathers, but, you know, I could be wrong somewhere. It's, you know what this is? Pete hates veterans. Okay, yeah.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, whatever.
Pete hates carnivals.
Pete's hate I don't like carnies. I got a problem with carnies and that basketball hoop. I have a problem with that. You've seen what they do with that basketball hoop.
Well, it's shrunk, and it's not a real basketball. It's a rubberized ball that, you know, if you touch it, it bounces.
Well, it's an oval.
I've never seen a ball go in, except when the carny pulls out the ball behind his back and it blows it up. There you go. It's easy.
All right, another tangent. What is the most rigged carnival game?
That's a good question. The most rigged carnival game, I have to say,
it's got to be the silver bottles.
I was just going to say that the bottles you knock the bottles off. I knocked them down. No, you're not supposed to knock them all off the stool.
It fell this way, and it's got to fall that way.
No, I was always, if it falls, you got to knock them all off. I'd knock them down. You knock them down, they're down, but they're still on the stool. No, that's not a winner. You get the Cupid doll instead.
What about the ring on the bottles?
That's a tough one too.
But the odds would be in your favor. It's hard to rig that. If you take a handful of those things and throw them up.
I thought that we used to kid about one of the biggest rig games was the mouse game. I don't know how you ever play the mouse game.
What's the mouse game?
Oh God, it was great. So have a little revolving circle, and you'd have birthdays, or like I call it. It was a birthday game, but it was so you had January, February, all through the thing, right? And then you could win stacks of gum and all this other stuff, but they'd have a mouse in the middle of the thing and a little thing, they'd release the mouse, and they'd run around in whatever hole he goes into. That was the winner.
How can you compare?
January, and we used to kid that there's cheese in the January one. That's why he always runs there.
How can you compare that game to the bottles, or even better yet, how about that BB gun, machine gun you're shooting out the star? I mean, how can you even compare?
Why is the thing bent? Just look through the thing and fire.
That's right.
I'm pointing right at the target, and it's hitting the Cupid dial to the left of the target. It must be the kickback from the BB gun.
Speaking of kickbacks.
Speaking of BB guns, we used to have a friend on your street. One of my close friends used to live there growing up. And I'd go over to see him, and his older brother would be in the garage. And they'd be doing whatever with their BB guns. They come in, and he goes, "Skoo, run." We'd be running in the backyard. They'd be like, Jesus.
How many pumps did he give you?
I'd ride my bike down the driveway, and they'd be sitting there like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they're like, "Run."
Did you have a pump, or did you have the CO2?
I had nothing. They had them. They were older than us.
How old you got to be to have a BB gun? Back in those days, 5 years old? You're the original Christmas Story guy.
Oh, God, yeah. You go up to Coppins, and you can get BB guns and rockets and make rockets and model planes. And
wait, Coppins?
Yeah, Coppins. It was
like where,
it was it's where the I'm trying to think of the store there. It's a gift store. It's right on the corner of Bank Lane and Westminster. Westminster, not Westminster, people. It's not
Westminster.
Oh. Westminster. There's 3 buildings, or one building and 3 stores. There's and it's not the trading, but it's right at the corner.
The electronics place, Sage
No,
Explorer.
Right. No. That's corner of Bank Lane and Westminster, right across from the bank. So the middle store used to be Coppins, and it was kind of interesting. They used to have sports equipment, model airplanes, BB guns, and then they had furniture and other stuff. So it was like an all-in-one. And this family, Coppins, they ran it for years. And
interesting,
go get your bike fixed there. And they were always in competition with Kittles. Should I take my bike over to Coppins or Kittles?
And Kittles made it.
Kittles made it, yeah.
What was the difference between the two? One is glad they sold.
Kittles had more stuff.
Yeah.
But Coppins was just a family that ran it, and then I think they just kind of faded away. But no, that was get your BB guns there and everything.
Last thing I want to close on is I didn't get any feedback. Well, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of feedback from this show, but I didn't get any feedback. Yeah. Burn the flag.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rough week. That's okay.
Walking your dog, and I saw you trying to light the Legion Hall on fire. Jesus Christ!
I won't even walk on that sidewalk.
Oh my God!
The losers. I didn't hear anything about the losers.
What do you mean?
That gang, the Lake Forest gang.
Bad news.
I mean, not one peep. I don't think anybody.
They're all either dead or they moved out of town and they live in Florida. These guys are like 70 years old now.
Well, that's true. They are in Florida, making jigsaw puzzles.
Well, just go to. I remember Lake Forest one. The guy that ran it was the guy that blew up the guy's car.
Why?
Literally blew it up.
Is this like public knowledge? Because I have to edit it if it's
knowledge.
not. Okay.
It's a fact. One of the guys on there.
Okay, I'm going to edit this out. It's bad enough I'm burning veterans.
Biff Thiel.
Bit Fields?
Biff Thiel.
Wait,
He's always
Biff?
on that.
Biff?
Biff Thiel.
That sounds like a character from Back to the Future.
Bad dude.
Biff
Back in the
Field.
day.
All right, I'll look up his newspaper article.
Yeah,
All right,
he's
Skoo.
Was the principal's car. Art class blew it up.
So I can find that in a newspaper.
I think he went to jail too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people go to jail or have been arrested in Lake Forest, Skoo.
There are.
All right.
That's another show. We should talk about the history of crime and Lake Forest and
mugshots.
Crimes and there we go. You'll probably be on there when they arrest you for trying to set the Legion on fire.
I'm not even walking on there. I'll be walking on the parking lot.
Guys, change my damn walk with the dog now. I don't like them.
my dog won't even crap on their lawn.
Well, if he does, they got very expensive bags you can use too, because that's where all the money goes.
No, it's more like they're full of it. Thanks for listening to the Lake Forest Podcast. Please give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and smash that like button on Facebook, Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. Let us know what you'd like to hear about in the upcoming shows. Again, I'm Pete and can be reached at pete@lakeforestpodcast.com. The link will be in the podcast notes below. We'd like to thank our Patreon sponsor, Shark Guy Beach Fishing. They're the premier South Florida beach fishing experience out of Longboat Key, Florida. Their world-renowned captains not only put you on the fish, but they'll help you and your family make a memory of a lifetime. Check them out at Facebook or at sharkguybeachfishing.com. Contact them today to schedule an outing. Skoo, Shark Guy is your guy for your next charter. We also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Reverend Luke Back from the Church of the Holy Spirit. I could use a little Luke Back today. I was kind of fired up. Matt A, Elizabeth B. Elizabeth B.
I can't wait for the comments.
Coast, nobody's listening. Costa, Lance, and of course, Domo Origato Atto.
He's back from his trip. His fishing trip.
I don't know if he made it past customs. On behalf of my co-host, Skoo Walker, we thank you for listening and bundle up out there. It's cold. Cue the music.